Classic Cinema with the Sage Sisters. My name is Lucinda Sage Midgordon. I'm the oldest sister and I love movies.
I'm the youngest sister, Celeste, and I love movies too.
Yes. And your name is Celeste Sage Tate. And
I
that's why
am.
we and that's why we named it Classic Cinema with the Sage Sisters, because we both kept Sage in our name. Yeah, so today we are talking about a really wonderful movie called Auntie Mame, and it is based on I think it's both a memoir and he wrote a novel called Auntie Mame that this movie is based on.
Or
Um,
travel with my aunt.
Travels with My Aunt, I think, is the memoir.
Right.
And we might be wrong about that. But anyway, she was a real person. Mame Dennis in the movie was a real person.
Our
I only picked the last because to me, the whole themes of the movie are the juxtaposition between open-minded, open-hearted, the world is your oyster, everything is there to experience, and the closed-mindedness of the Upsons and Babcock, or somehow they talk about the party that Lindsay's having, and he goes up to get dressed, and then he's singing, and she's thinking, I don't want to go to the party.
well, she has someplace else she's got to be. She's got to go meet this girl's family, and that is far more important to her, especially
Well,
after
she's thinking about she hasn't planned that yet, but she's thinking about that about oh this woman is horrible. I don't want Patrick to marry her. I don't want him to be involved. If and that's when she comes I think that's when she comes up with the idea that oh, I'm going to go meet her family, but she's got to set that up.
and it's interesting that while she's busy, you see how Patrick had changed because she's busy mourning and still traveling, and
Right.
then she comes back to this at some point and she's like, "What?
What
How
happened?
did you turn into this?"
Yeah.
Doesn't take him very long though.
Well, the thing that I love about it is at first she's condemns him in a way
Oh yeah,
because
she tells him he's a snob.
and then she realizes, oh wait a minute, wait, that's not the right approach. So before we started with the introduction, you and I were talking about the two different contrasting lifestyles. There's the Knickerbocker Bank and Mr. Babcock and his conservative lifestyle, and he wants Patrick to be conservative and blah, 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 blah. And then there's Auntie Mame, and she lives this free-spirited lifestyle. And it starts in no,
1928.
this movie came out in 1958.
Right.
And so Prohibition is on, but she's at the beginning of the movie when Patrick and his nanny, I guess you want to call her,
Yeah.
uh, she's not really a nanny, but caretaker, we'll say that, because he doesn't really have any relationship with his father at all. So Nora
No.
is the one who makes sure he's fed and dressed and blah, blah, go off to
Right.
school and so on and so forth because his mother is dead. So when they show up, there's this raging party going on at Auntie Mame's
Yeah.
apartment. And Nora is like, I think we should leave. I wanted to show a bunch of scenes from the beginning of the movie where, especially at this party, what happens is when she realizes that he is her nephew and he's come what she thinks is a day early. Um, she stops and she says, everyone, this is my little boy, Patrick.
Yeah.
And then she goes, oh, no, no, wait, wait, wait. I mean, he's my nephew and he's come to live with me. And immediately, he's my only living relative. And almost
Right.
immediately, everybody goes, oh, we need to leave. Okay, we're going to go over to this other party and
Right.
because they know her. She's interested in everyone and they know she's going to want to sit down
And be with
and
him.
be with
Right.
him and get to know him. And one of the sad things is she asks him, "So, tell me about your father." "Oh, well, I only saw him at breakfast and
Yeah.
mostly he would say, 'Pipe down, kid, your father's hung,'" which means he's drunk
Oh yeah.
or hungover. And that happens a little bit later where Patrick goes to talk to her. It's in the
Yeah.
afternoon. And she goes, "Oh, your auntie's hung." And he goes, "Oh, okay." And he starts to leave. And she goes, "No, no, 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 Patrick, come back, come back, come back." And
Yeah.
she
No,
sits there
no, no. And she brings him into her arms
and she
and
talks to
she
him.
immediately he is frightened at that first meeting, but also
Hmm.
I think he becomes immediately open to her. She's very affectionate.
Yes.
She immediately hugs him. She wants, oh, you must be hungry. She immediately wants
Hmm.
to take care of him and
Hmm.
not ignore him.
Right. And
And
she
she
wants,
can't wait for him to meet all the people at the party
right,
because everyone is her family.
right. Exactly.
So after that, Bo comes to the door and he talks about how he had gone through the phone book, 87 people to find her,
Yes.
and so pleased to find her. And of course, you can tell they're immediately attracted to each other.
Yes.
And he's about, oh, I have the cab out front waiting. And they're all like, you're letting the cab just sit there? And he goes, well, yeah. And then, and they're kind of like, how do you have to do that? Oh, well, you see, and you can tell he's from the South.
Right.
I, I have oil.
Right.
And that just doesn't stop coming. It just keeps gushing
Yeah.
away. And they're all like, oh, okay.
I love that
He
he
invites
takes them.
them out. He
Yeah, I
takes
like that he
them
takes
all.
them all out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's a very kind man.
Yes, he is. So, I love that they fall in love. And the funny part, one another really funny part of the movie is when she goes south to meet his family. And
Oh
he,
yeah.
he says, I'll join your little family and we'll go out to dinner, but I have a big family. And when she gets
Yeah.
there, he does have a big family because there's
It's enormous.
all these
But
people.
he has an estate, he's got acres and acres of land.
Right.
And they're the old South rich.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
They're the Southern rich.
Yeah,
And
and
they became rich because of the oil, of
right.
course.
Right. Yeah.
Um, and she does whatever she can to fit in. We're back on track with how, because of her attitude and her outlook on life, everything always works out for her.
Yes.
Even though they're trying to humiliate her, she stays on this wild horse who's running crazy. And then she gets thrown, but it turns out in her favor. So he immediately proposes to her in front of everyone
Yeah.
because he doesn't like that. He
Right.
didn't like what had
Well,
happened to her.
well, he was trying to propose to her before
Yes, but
but
they got interrupted. Yes.
right.
And
But
and
I love what happens after that because she's all
oh yeah,
happy. She and Bo are together, and then Bo and both of them notice that Patrick's not very happy, and so he sort of
right.
go
Like he's like, go over there and
take
take
care
care
of
of it.
Patrick. And she wants to do that anyway. And she just explains, now I just have two men in my life.
Right. And Patrick's okay. She
Yeah.
says, I'm going to still love you. We're still going to be
Mhm.
together. You will be forgotten because
Right.
that's what he's still, after all that time, is still used to
Right.
being forgotten. In the
Right.
meantime, has this conversation with Patrick as an adult
Mm-hmm.
who wants her to meet his new girlfriend.
Right.
And she can tell at
Exactly.
that point how much Patrick has changed. He has become quite the upper crust snob because he doesn't want
Snob.
her to be her.
Yeah, snob is a really good word for it. I was trying to think of the word for
Yeah.
the
Because,
Uptons.
I mean,
Yeah.
she's really taken aback because he's like, can you change this? Can you change that? And not have any of these. You need to get rid of this person and you need to get rid of, and she's like, what? You want me to do
Exactly.
what? And
Yes.
I,
Okay, there we're recording again.
yeah, I have seen the other versions they made after this were musicals.
Right.
I think Lucille Ball is in one of them, and it might just be
Mm-hmm.
called Mame.
Mm-hmm.
But nothing is, even with the music, this is absolutely my favorite version. And nothing against Lucille Ball by any means. But what makes this my favorite? I love the cast, don't get me wrong, but Rosalind Russell owns this movie.
She definitely does.
To
Exactly.
her, exclusion is not expansion. Those
Right.
words are not said, but it's so obvious
Right.
that's who she is.
Yes.
She's all about the banquet and expanding her life and experiencing in the fullest sense growth and life. And I love her spirit. Her spirit is absolutely no judgment other than when she sees the bigots. Well, she's just wise and she
Mm-hmm.
knows he has to see it.
He has to
He
see the
can't hold
contrast.
it. He
Right.
has to see their behavior and
Yeah.
experience it
Right.
firsthand. And going back to when the very first night she meets Patrick, I have to say this. When she realizes he needs to eat and she takes him into the other room, and the first thing he wants to try is that black jam or whatever,
Right.
I want to
Uh-huh.
try that. And she goes, well, that's not jam, darling. It's,
It's a fish jam.
it's a fish jam. And of course, it's caviar. And he
Right.
tries it. He goes, it's salty, but it's good. And
Yeah.
right there, he's going to fit in.
Yes.
I think what makes this movie, especially for the time period that it's held in and the time when it was made, how bold it is to say it like it is,
Yes.
that they're bigots, that
Yes.
they are Aryans from Darien,
Right.
Um,
So this movie is a great example of how to do that, how to be expansive. Yeah.
right. And
Yeah.
how not to be afraid,
I know. Right. Exactly.
and yet a few times that Mame is afraid. However, it's also like a laws of attraction movie because she is so open and loving, that's what she attracts.
Exactly right. Go watch this movie because it's such a
Oh
fantastic
yes.
movie. Yeah, and subscribe to our channel and share it with other people. And
Yeah.
okay, so
All
see
right.
you
Thank
next
you.
time. Go watch
All
classic
right. Bye bye.
movies.